And the FS Exiles have a crack on the outside. That's all they can do. Your Models will tuck the ball and have a run. TCPC grabs the ball and does his options. The Manu Samoan start. And behind there in the background, you can see the bearded form of Hale Te Pole, the Tongan great. Well taken by BGC. Quickly off the top, through the midfield they split. Pretty direct in their play. Ball's untidy though. Lost, and the Exiles taken away, and they've made all the play so far in the game, the Exiles. Now they push it on. BGC there though to cover them. Exiles decide to go wide, test the width defence on the outfit. It's a gutsy play because they've got them covered. They'll have a go though. The Exiles, they've got a man outside, he's not interested. He's just going to take the territory. Probably not a bad idea. He committed a few bodies to that breakdown though, the FS Exiles, and now they'll smartly switch it back towards, and they get it behind the line. They turn the BGC Asia Pacific around, and there'll be a line-out restart for BGC inside their own 22. Sione Leah holds the ball aloft and waits for his call. Nakauku, the ball. BGC, they take the advantage out of that. Not rolling away, they need the tap and go. They get the tap and go through Sakiwa. Sakiwa, his ball is ultimately delivered wide. BGC just setting up some phases here, testing the movement of this, and they don't need to test it any more than that. As BGC break out for their first try. And that's 5-0.
BGC Dragons, number 14, Shannon Chase.
So Shannon Chase steps up as they tested the width, and it crumpled, and then Shannon Chase, and there was no chase, is the only man in the frame, as you can see. And he made that 60 metres look pretty quick. It's 5-0. And the conversion attempt is launched and is unsuccessful. So the BGC Asia Pacific Dragons out to 5 points over the Allied World Forces Exiles, who are now on 0. And the ball's gone the 10, so the BGC APDs get the ball back and they strike hard down the far side, and they punish them, in fact. And 2CPC scores a try from the kickoff, and that is a 10-0 scoreline now with the kick to come, and the BGC machine starts to roll. As we watch them just powerfully go into the breakdown. It's tough to defend against in anybody's form, any grade you care to choose, when many defenders are getting thrown willy-nilly from one side to the other. It's a tough one to negate as it goes back, and BGC will now restart the game at 10-0 and 4.5 minutes gone. World Allied Forces Exiles take the ball from the kickoff this time. They stay strong over the ball. That's a penalty. Take the nut back, and hope they can make some extra ground out of this and get some good quality ball at the set phase. They do. They go far side of the ground, and it'll be a line-out restart some 5 metres outside the 22 of BGC. And they'll need plenty to go forward. from the set piece. They do win it. No, they do not win it. There's Nililatu runs away with the ball, the Tongan captain. And in from the side is a call by the referee, and the Exiles dart away as quickly as they can. They go looking for space, but the three-man defensive pod by the BGC Asia Pacific Dragons shuts them down. And this is the 21st fixture of the day. 2015 GFI Hong Kong Football Club Tens. Ball comes down for BGC. They're looking for some space out wide. They deliver it out wide. The Exiles try to match them for pace, but they're going to struggle. They might be able to match them for space, but they can't match them for size and power as they put them into touch, and the APDs manage almost at will to take a good 40 metres off a side when they want to. With the likes of Joe Villidamu out there as well. He's a real excitement machine. You haven't seen too many guys run like Joe Villidamu when he gets the ball rolling. It's a sight to behold. Poetry in motion. Nearly, there we go. They threw Nililatu, runs onto the short ball, but he loses it as the Allied World Forces Exiles team picks up the ball. And even when they've got the ball, the BGC team's able to put them under a horrific amount of pressure that keeps them backing up as they go looking for the options. And they wait now for this restart. 12-0 the score. It's coming up to 8 minutes in the first half. It's a tighter effort, I guess, by the Exiles, and being able to hold a powerful looking outfit. Well, the BGC team who have had no problems racking up big scores against their other opponents, and the Exiles managed to get away with the ball here. So the set piece is working okay. They elect to kick the ball away. A tricky bounce. Very tricky bounce indeed. Horrible bounce, you might say, but it's come away to a Fijian, and for Fijians anything can happen. As he gets penalised for the high tackle, and I'm pretty sure he'll be all right. Gets a fairly good slap on the head by one of his teammates to say, you know, sharpen up. Took one around the chin, or maybe a wee bit lower, and Nililatu decides to just remind him to watch his back. So the dying minute of this match is Matt Rodden calls out the player, and he shows him the cheese, and away you go. A yellow card for the World Allied Exiles.
A yellow card awarded to the Allied World Forces Exiles.
The World Allied Forces Exiles now with one yellow card and down to 9 players against the champion outfit like the BGC Asia Pacific Dragons. They'll need all the defenders they can get, particularly if they start linking together guys like number 20 Roy Kini Lau, and that's where the ball could be heading very shortly. And look on, the ball is there. There's the first pass, righto. Kini Lau into action here. He's got Villidamu on the outside if he wants to use him. He gets stripped from behind. And that's good, desperate defence, and Probably a little bit lazy from Roy Kinney Lau. He's one of the forces out wide. You've seen him absolutely destroy teams in the past. Playing for
And the referee ends this match for the first half.
sides like Wellington and the Hurricanes and even the New Zealand All Black Sevens team, but on that occasion he was dispossessed as they go to the half-time break. The BGC Asia Pacific Dragons leading the World Allied Forces Exiles 12 points to 0 here at the Hong Kong Football Club in the 2015 GFI Hong Kong Football Club Tens. As we check out the scoring play for Chase. Shannon Chase, obviously possessing some fantastic speed. Well, the GFI Hong Kong Football Club Tens continues tomorrow as we make our way through to the final session tomorrow evening. And it'll be a great day down here, as you would expect. It's a tremendous evening as well, as the Hong Kong Football Club always packs out. Great ground to watch the football, and particularly here in Hong Kong. $100 entry tomorrow night for the finals as we make our way back from half-time, and World Allied Forces Exiles will be, well, they'll be buoyed by that. There's not many teams that have kept a side like the BGC APDs to 12 points in 10 minutes. And so they'll be considering that some small victory. As referee Rodden looks on. And we prepare for the start of the second half of fixture number 21. The ball goes high and wide and down to the 22 of the Asia Pacific Dragons. They bring it back strongly. Clean out's pretty effective at the moment. And away we run already. They look to lob it back on the inside, but it's picked up by the Exiles. And now the Exiles have the ball off the BGC 10-metre line. And they take it wide. And some space for them to run into. Ultimately, the counter-ruck's pretty good, but they manage to keep the ball on. They've kept them honest all right. Floating passes are going to help anyone. And that's an interesting option. You see one defender fly past, and all of a sudden, he's playing for the ref's whistle. Mark is the call. Offside, referee Rodden says. And the ball knocked out down range for a line-out restart for the Allied World Forces Exiles. So taken by the Exiles. And they keep it close to the phase. As eventually it comes away, and it's going to be all the way for number 15. Nakuku too quick. Just outrageous pace out wide, and as soon as he picked it up, he was going to be unchallenged. Nakuku, look at him go, and he goes for every single ounce of pace he can get together. And he knows he's got them covered here. Sure enough, tremendous pace for Nakuku. Tusi Pisi adds the 2 points. And before you know it, BGC Dragons out doing 9-0. And you wouldn't believe it, but 3 minutes ago it didn't look nearly that good. they're a classy outfit. The Cuckoo, undeniable that man has pace to burn. So it's been picked off, and this is Kenny Lau, and that's Tusi PC, and this is Vili Damu, and Joe Vili Damu slices his way through for the Cuckoo. Sorry, Maluvero.
Scores his second try.
Looks like Vili Damu just lined them up and skittled them, and then Billy Votto comes in and scores number 16. Tusi PC takes his chop at goal, and he sends it round the outside, but it's 24 points to 0 now, and one gets the feeling that the Red Machine's starting to put the foot down just a little bit. From the kickoff, World Allied Forces Exiles get a break in the play. 24 points to 9, 4 minutes gone in the second half. And down range they go. Good nudge there for the Exiles as they set up a line out just inside the BGC half, and looking some way to just stretch this BGC defence if they can. Of course, it's over there in big numbers, and they drive hard and over the ball, and they still manage to send plenty of players off. They can stand them off, there's no doubt about that. They go again. So BGC, the Exile attack, even though they've run it round, if they can get wide here, so it's going to be some enterprising players. He didn't back his pace at all, really, did he? Wasn't interested at all. And a penalty as the result to the APDs. 24 points to 0. So BGC just willing to slow it down a wee bit. Referee's over having a bit of a conference call as we look on. And a reminder, if you're in Hong Kong, don't miss the final session live. $100 to get in tomorrow here at the Hong Kong Football Club at Happy Valley. So it's a great environment to come in. The atmosphere will be pumping tomorrow afternoon, particularly from about 4:30, 5 o'clock onwards, as we lock it up for the final session. And the referee is calling in one of the BGC players and showing him the yellow card. It's Joe Vili Damu who gets sent off. And the penalty brought back, and it's going to be a penalty for the World Allied Forces Exiles. Damu sits out for 3 minutes and reduces the Asia Pacific Dragons down to 9 men. And the Exiles will be looking to stretch them just that little bit more with 3 minutes left on the clock. Set pace has been working pretty well for the Exiles, and they lay one back off on the inside. Pretty strongly taken though, and not releasing is the call. Nililatu takes it and carries on with it. He goes wide. One strong Nililatu playing halfback again, just about. Doesn't. Lukuku picks it up. Now they get over the top of the ball. Another penalty for the Asia Pacific Dragons. There's the cuckoo. It's to pot it downfield, and the APDs will take the set piece line out restart. 3 or 4 metres outside the 22. 2 minutes left on the clock now as Ililatu feeds it in. They go short, they go wide over the top. The cuckoo, Roy Kinney Lau, through the middle he goes, but forward is the pass for the call, according to Matt Rodden. Matt Rodden brings them back for the restart. For the forward pass. As we come down to the closing minute of play. 24 points to 0. World Allied Forces Exiles. Nowhere in help. And BGC in there and fighting hard for the ball. The Exiles come away with it. It doesn't help at all. Samu Sakiwa, number 4 in there, battling hard for the Asia Pacific Dragons. Tap and go has been issued by the Exiles as they go up and over the top, and they look back on the inside. That's well clutched out of the air by that man. Outstanding play. So the Exiles take the back. They push the APDs back towards 10-metre line. And they punch a speculator in down the far tram lines as it bounces into touch, and that's potentially the end of the run for the World Allied Forces Exiles. As we watch 10 minutes run out on the clock and a 24-0 scoreline. BGC, they might mount an attack here if they can, or if they can be bothered. Ililatu prepares to shoot one over the top, and he does, and now they shift it, BGC, and they shift it wide, and down the middle of the track comes Kenny Lau, and Kenny Lau's tracked, and he shrugs one off, and then he actually drops the ball after travelling a good 80 metres down the paddock. Matt Rodden dismisses the game. It's all over. And the BGC Asia Pacific Dragons